Hi! So this video is a pretty big one for me. Just around a week ago, I hit the 1 year milestone of living in Brockville. It's kind of mind-boggling to think about because that feels simultaneously like it was forever ago, and also it's kind of shocking that it's been a year already. So I did write on my blog about the same thing that this video is about, but in that blog post I kind of went through the whole year, kind of summarizing all the stuff that happened, and I didn't really want to do that in this video because you could just go read it. So instead I wanted to talk a bit about just the part about like how I've changed, because like you can compare my older videos from when I first moved here and slightly before, and even the ones during, and you can just kind of see all the drastic changes. I feel like I was much younger when I came here. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like I've matured a lot, like I've done a fuck ton of growing. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video. So when I first moved here, I didn't know anyone, I didn't know the city, I had only visited it. I think I moved here the second time I ever visited it. It was literally like really fast. I had no prep because it was so far away, so it was quite a trip every time we would come here. So when I moved here, I didn't know the place. I didn't know anyone here. Like, I met the people I lived with the day I moved in. They were lovely people, but I don't live there anymore, obviously, with the new apartment. Another big thing that changed me was the relationship that I was in for most of the last year. As I've said countless times, I don't like getting into personal things, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. But it works a lot better now that we're friends. Like, we don't have any of that. We don't have as much of that tension that we had, where we just didn't quite mesh properly as a relationship because of our relationship styles. Mine is too intense and theirs is not intense enough for me. So that was kind of a bit of an issue, but we've resolved that by not being a couple. I don't regret the relationship. I'm glad it happened. I grew a lot, and I'm glad it's come to the place it's come because it feels good. It feels like it's supposed to be going the way it's going, and that's pretty cool. I do kind of regret how I got too obsessed during the beginning of the second semester. So like late winter, early spring, that time period I got too swept away by being in the relationship that I forgot to, spend any time with my friends and stuff like that, so that was a bit bad. I mean, it was I considered it to be a very happy relationship, but that was also because of my perspective. I'm getting into it too much. So that's kind of the biggest news from the summer, because I haven't been making a lot of videos because self-conscious, don't have anything to talk about, yada yada. But it's pretty cool thinking back on this last year, because now Brockville it feels like second nature. I'm more used to the layout of Brockville than I ever was with Woodstock or any of the other cities I've lived in. I wrote about it in my blog post kind of, but I don't think I got into it as much as I wanted to. I reduced my course load. Like, I was considering it before, I finally did it. And I didn't do it for the reasons I used to want to do it. Like, I used to want to do it because I wasn't sure if I could handle having the full classes, so it felt like giving up if I were to reduce my course load. But then I realized I don't know what I want to do after I graduate, and I want more time. So I reduced my course load so that I could have an extra year or two to figure out what I want to do. And also it gives me more free time to be able to handle the courses depending on which ones I take, and also I could figure out more of what I want to do in that free time. So I wanted to pace myself a bit more because I can't do it as fast as most people could, I guess. I don't know if most people can, but for me I need more time than just 2 years. So that's why I reduced my course load, and I'm much happier with it, because with all my stuff that qualifies me, like my permanent disability status and blah blah blah, it doesn't cost me anything extra to reduce my course load and stay extra years, except for like administration fees or whatever, so it's like 20 bucks a class or something. I just want to be able to stay, take extra classes, take my time, relax, and not have to worry about having a full week of classes and not having time to do anything, and all that kind of jazz. That is why I did that, and all that stuff. I don't know if I put in too many details or how much I'm going to cut out in editing, but I'm pretty happy with that. And I don't really know what I want to do after. Like, I've done all this growing in this last year. I'm going to be doing more growing in the next year and the year after that, infinitely. That's the point of life. But I have to figure out where I want to go. Because when I first came here, I was planning on going to Ireland with the fine arts exchange thing. I decided not to do that because of both financial reasons and also I'm not in the fine arts program anymore. So I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. Which I don't, because I don't really want to be that hardcore about art. That was one thing I realized was like, I'm an artist and like art is my passion, but not all art. And from the research I did, the Ireland program was a lot more intense study stuff, and that's not how I like to approach art. It's a fun thing for me. If I turn it into work, then I can't do it. It blocks my creativity to make it into that intense work. So this last year has been pretty awesome. It's had its ups and downs. It's had its fair share of stress as well as happiness, but overall, it's been awesome. I've done a lot of growing. I am a lot happier with who I am in myself, and where I am in life and where I'm going feels good. And hopefully this year that's starting is going to be even better, because there's not going to be a strike for one. I think they're not legally allowed to strike for a certain number of years. And also, my perspective is better. Here's to the 2018-2019 year, and hopefully it's going to be awesome. I'm going to do my best to do better than I did last year and not fall into old ruts, and, you know, I just want to improve. I want to do better and be better and feel better. So, all that good stuff. Hopefully this was entertaining or insightful or something. Maybe you enjoyed watching it, might give it a thumbs up. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.